Welcome to moreveggiesmom.com and welcome back to all my returning viewers. I am so glad you're here with me today. Thank you so much for watching. Today we are making a turkey pot pie. So just like in my quiche recipe, you can make your own pie crust if you want. I don't do it because I think it's too hard. So I get the refrigerated pie crust. You're going to need 2 for this recipe, and make sure you take them out at least 30 minutes before you start cooking anything. But no more than an hour, otherwise they'll kind of mush together. Alright, so I have a large pan here and I'm going to turn it on to a medium heat and throw in 6 tablespoons of butter. That's going to start coming up to heat here and start melting. In the meantime, we're going to cut half of a small onion. It's going to be about 1/3 cup of onion. We're just going to make them pretty small here. That'll do it on that. We're also going to preheat our oven to 425 degrees. Alright, so my butter has melted now. We're going to add 6 tablespoons of flour. I'm using a whole wheat flour. Whisk that in there. We're also going to do a pinch of cayenne pepper and half of a teaspoon of salt, along with our onions. Okay, so just whisk that periodically, pretty frequently actually. You don't want your flour to burn, but you do want it to cook. You're going to start smelling like, it's going to kind of smell like baking cookies, which sounds weird. I mean, because you're going to smell the onion too. But you'll be able to smell that butter and the flour starting to cook, and it'll kind of smell like baking cookies with onions in them. So here is our mixture here. It's pretty bubbly, as you can see, and it's getting nice and fragrant. So we're going to go ahead and whisk in our liquids now. So what we have just made is a roux with onion, and it's just flour and oil in there, and it's a really good thickener. So anytime you're adding a cool liquid to a roux, you keep whisking and you slowly incorporate that liquid. I have 2/3 cup of almond milk here. Almond milk is a very simple way to add nuts to your cooking. Because nuts are very good for you. They help with cholesterol and heart disease and diabetes, help to reduce all of that. We also have 1 3/4 cup of vegetable broth. So instead of using turkey broth for my turkey pot pie, I'm using vegetables, and that incorporates more veggies into my cooking. At this point, if you would like to turn the temperature up to a medium-high, you can do that. You need to continuously whisk until it comes to a boil. Once it has come to a boil, continue stirring it for about another minute, and then we are going to add a 12-ounce package of frozen peas and carrots. And here we go with that. Okay, I am just going to stir these in and allow them to thaw a little bit. You can go ahead and turn off your temperature now, off the stove I mean. It really doesn't need it because it's going to do most of its cooking in the oven. So now I have 3/4 pound of turkey. I had them slice it at the deli for me already. It's cooked and everything. They made it thinner than I wanted them to. I usually like a nice 1/4 inch cube. Some delis will cube it for you. Mine just sliced it. So I'm going to go ahead and finish, not really cubing these, sort of cubing these. But like I said, they're too thin. I can't cube them at this point. But I'm going to make smaller pieces and just add that to our filling that we've made. Set this aside here. I will stir that in, but first I'm going to show you how to roll out your pie crust. So I've got two, and they have been sitting out for over a half an hour. I'm just going to pull them apart and roll one out. It's a little tricky at the beginning. Sometimes when I do this, the dang thing falls apart on me. And that's okay, it just wants to stick to itself. If that's the case, it's just been sitting out too long. So I threw one back into the fridge so that the next one won't be so difficult for me. But if it does start to break for you, just be as careful with it as you can, and then you can press those pieces back together, which I have done. So just take this and get it centered in your pan, and then you're going to press it in, starting in the middle, and working your way to the outsides to get rid of any air bubbles. And stretch it up a little bit if you need to get it to come up even just a little bit over that top, over the edge, because you need it to stick to the top crust. As you can see, while pulling on it, I tore it, and that's okay. So I'm just going to take and smush some of this over and stick it all back together. See, this pie dough is so forgiving. Oh, got another one up there. And as you can see, I've got it just a little bit up over that edge so that I'll be able to get it to stick to the top crust. So now that I have that ready, I'm just going to stir this turkey in really quickly and add it to my pie pan, which, by the way, is a 6-inch pie pan, and it's a deep dish pie pan. If you have one of the short pie pans, it is not going to fit. It will be coming out the sides. You'll be like, what is wrong with you? Why did you tell me to do this? I didn't get a deep pie pan. So now I've got my second pie crust out, and I rolled it out, and it was really hard again. I think I might be switching like brands of pie crusts. But if you need a little troubleshooting, I found out that using a butter knife to kind of pull down parts helps it not curl up so much as like when you use your fingers, because I was using my fingers and it just kept on like forming into little balls in the middle, and it was really bad. But then I used a butter knife and just pulled it down, and then I was able to kind of flatten it out with my knife. So if you need some troubleshooting, try that one. Since it is going on top, you probably want to make it look a little nicer. And you can't press it down when it's on the pie. So you can press it and fill in those holes while it's on the counter, and then just be careful when you pull it up. All right, so we're going to get this on here. Try to make that center. And I will give you guys an up-close look on how I form it. So I am not a professional pie former or baker, but this gets the job done at any rate. I lift this side up, and you can see the two, and I pinch them together. And I do that all the way around. And then I fold this piece under and do it again. Well, sort of. I don't really press this one in this time. So I'll turn this, mush them together, fold it down, Hopefully you guys can see this. See? 2 layers, press them together, fold it. And then I'm going to take, I'm just using these 2 fingers on each hand. I pinch it at a diagonal like that and push them together so it will crinkle. Let me show you here. Oh, can you see it? See it crinkled together like that? And I'll just do that all the way around. So I'll just stick my thumb back in that spot that I created and pinch it all the way around. So now we just need to put a couple of slits in this. I'm going to cut one right down the middle here. And then just 2 little ones, I think, next to it. Kind of makes it pretty. So there's our pie. So we are going to stick our pie into our preheated oven for 35 minutes. And I got my little silicone cover ready. Also tin foil. So if my edges or my whole pie crust starts to get too brown before it has enough time to cook, I can cover it up. See, we learn from our mistakes. Thank you, burnt quiche. It's been 20 minutes into my baking and I checked it and it is starting to brown too fast. If I leave it in there another 15 minutes, it'll be burnt on top. So I broke off a square piece of tin foil and I'm gonna just set it carefully on top so it can keep cooking without continuing to brown the top. Here is my pie. I waited another 10 minutes. It was a total of 30 minutes. I said 35 before. I took mine out 5 minutes early. It just will depend on your oven, so just keep an eye on it. But it was nice and bubbly. As you can see, I had a little tear right here, and so a bunch of my liquid came out. That's okay. I don't care. Neither does my kids. So I will show you. I'm going to wait about 10 to 15 minutes before I try to cut into this. Hey you guys, it has been a while since I've been able to work. I've been not feeling very good lately. So it's been a couple of weeks since I made that pie and I just haven't been able to get to editing this video. So I apologize for that, but it was such a good pie and I really hope you try it and enjoy it. If you could please do me a favor and subscribe to my YouTube channel, visit my website, leave me reviews, subscribe to my emails. I send some good emails. I value your time, so I make them short and I do bonus recipes on there. So if you could help me by doing that, that way more people will be able to see my page, my YouTube, my Facebook, and moreveggiesmom.com so that I can help more moms raise healthier children, and that's really what I'm trying to do with this. So again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys later.